Muamu MP na wewu, even though so yenuana. Wamu call Congress mpo nanu ya. 1 minute silence mpo wamu intimia observe it in honor of that particular individual. The current crop of people leading the NDC are not people you threaten. I'm an NDC candidate. Because Akwatia no NDC for we need that. MPP for we need that. So the balance of probability say any party can win is very high.
I will say for you more bibia kwaba na yem from Bramege TV and platform we eso Mustapha Gbande Deputy General Secretary Edma NDC amanyuko no sanso ena ukọ abankese mu a Jubilee House Deputy Director of Operations. In fact Edma NDC aban no na wura we di nsem bi ababontin efa Akwatia by election no na wo kire mu Akwatia by election ne de omo NDC for omo di kan wo honom a omo yi nnwuma omo appeal to the constituents any omo muti honom no so omo nye den omo nto aba emfa mo candidate obreko a EC enyan seti date ensemi mempese mekasa ho bibi yenko na yenko tie nkomo a oni kwame kurumati kese OKFM so omo twetwenge na afi so Nancy Ambaka yakwa Dr. Kwabnado 4 any other 9 people be an serve and stand to be corrected. Abino a free omo and answer we ja omo efa sika bi a course wa sebia blusi binyado anko yi that is attorney general no etimi edo omo mfun so and answer etimi apado na yempese me kansa nse ni mu bebre yenko na yenko ti nse ni mu nchire mu efri Mustapha Gbande ni nsemo de tu edwane yakoba ebeto aso
Meeting. Samba kwa bepi mu said okay. Na onse omampenyi bibia novelty. The winning ye. Omampenyi decided that he will explore human resource experience at what party. So most and for the first time, most of party executives right from grassroots, constituency level, national, and they are appointing one more into government. It's a different thing from the past. NDC penny na appointing. This time, most of the appointments came from 7 officers of the party, which is a good thing because Obia wako kum upon wako ahante ya president
wako ahayo
wako ahayo no wakum akrantie no you don't anya afi ne ekope abro abeman biedi so but also the thinking is that political parties are as a war machines, even though they are entities. These organizations must always be ready, functioning strong enough to be able to win any competitive race as far as elections are concerned. So they've been the consideration. Say, okay, one more, point to one more free party positions into government. No, saying na party no timye na juma na government also. I do about Musa Boaman Penny no 3 mile. Wait me a contribute the required and expected input to help the president fulfill his vision and build a country. Sindra koya debate in terms of the various school of thought considerations. And in the end, there was a very illustrated scenario. Majority leader, I think all of us stood on that. He said we should give it some time and think through and study the implications more. Now, I said, party no be koswa na juma na aban so atime na juma. The interesting thing is that Omanpenyi did what he did because of he said the party must be close to the grassroots. Now, regional secretary. Now, what be a regional minister? You would have already served as a regional secretary. You know the region properly. You know the terrains. You know the demographics. It becomes easy for you to function as a regional secretary, other than Obia Afe ni Edeneba or Obibisa se Pian contact coin wahe, Obibisa se half a coin wahe. But you already know the ground. You would have been to all of the places. You are more familiar with the problems of the terrain. So it becomes easier. And at the political side, you would have been known by your party people when they want to assess your office. It becomes easy. And the same applies to all other positions. Functional executive and executive members. They are appointed to them. It also gives the leverage. Say, party officer. Now, and I'm so what a muja. Now, one who didn't wear an agency. I'm paying near my Juma class a year. Now, we and so Robert give it Chiauka. Yet Chiauka, Saturday, oh, sorry, Unya by a Juma now for a party at Juma. What do salary bed and let me up for now on Zaka with Juma. And so we are considering all of these scenarios. A general secretary, national chairman. The by almost in it, he said. They don't belong to any of the school of thought, but they think that we should discuss it and come to a certain conclusion with the matter. Into my instructions that the parties at the regional level should go back. Woman could share constituency for woman, so woman discuss it at that level, so that in our next meeting, the issue will be tabled again for consideration.
Now, but when I hear
Madam Kakra. Media men kahubi.
Na mama Sadiwi we no a branch ka ho afa constituency ka ho regional na say a national nko
a reach from constituency to national.
Oh, okay.
Now even the positions no kra no and no general secretary national chairman actually mu anye appointees nyina na affected womo. There are some category of appointments. When you have received that appointment, conventionally, you ordinarily would have to resign. That is what has been happening in the past. But because these mass, novelty, we must consolidate the vision of the president in taking that decision, thereby finding ways to get the party to function properly. But to say we are DC now, we are constituency secretary and now organizer. You are the president at that level in terms of decentralization. Now, who represent to my opinion? It become practically impossible. Say, you secretary so much free meeting. Now, secretary of this assembly meeting. On who's own team. So we are trying to see how the system can function well. The other school of thought are so we are secretary, now we are DC here. So deputy or so I didn't know my deputy function. Now on to party, you man report to mouth so that we come. So there are various scenarios consider, and there are various appointments that have been considered. Maybe they saying almost that because I live between government and party, but yeah,
okay. Now, my main way, we are moving, and no constitution, no sank over, and carry a straightforward, said your constitution can be made, and answer way, novelty, said your can.
One was that President Muhammad, the first president, in fact, in the history of this country, what bomb more than 20 party for the door. Our reward party for baby.
Yes.
So it's one, a novelty. Two, institutions like the NDC learning from my superiors, is not only run by constitution. The institution is a living entity, and as people continue to increase and day by day time changes, there must be policies and decisions that organs of the party can do or can take for the betterment of the entity, and this is one of such decisions. The constitution itself mandates that in cases like this, we should go back to functional executive committee meeting, mute the idea, a committee, National Chairman and General Secretary, set up committee, headed by some few national executive colleagues. I want to consult to a detail and the report and that report is required to go before National Executive Committee, which involves the region, majority members in parliament, reps, and appointees. So it's not really a constitutional matter, but it's a matter that can be remedied with this particular procedure also. The other ones who feel that, okay, I didn't know Yama will be a anchor. Now, in the next 1 year, no election, but not a rule. That we are appointee, won't even contest the election. By that time, no, you have served your term as a party executive. Prior to your appointment, the amount, no, you would have finished serving that a year. Or the party, no, any fee. So they are
I see. Another development where the farmer party no, the Ben and Mobeshians now once I bring you one come to a conclusion.
Yes, no, I study a fee, or teaching for no paying for this idea. Given the we woman region for no woman constituency for no and casa. No input to honum, so that by the next 1 or 2 months I bet no. Nanka, we have a vast consultative information I bet me aboa. Ama yehu babia. Yade asam ne beto a bebo apart.
I see. Now, Mamimra, say what the development is so a coso a war a habakun yes said Dr. Kwabnadu for Attorney General no na yen shisheye say sika na ekwedi wo mo anaye o man sika no so tumi 60% wo man no ebegya case no ana ebe drop case na manaka ema wono so ene nkofo kan ho na iris no maye ema ehun sema ebebrebe matese Franklin kujukura ase ana ne emu at 100% isan say say netie ena afei nipa bia e ka mra so say first you must be convicted na ye convicted we are Nemum ya can't say ye hold it and now I didn't in suspension or in abeyance. Nemum you hold in abeyance no. Wo want me and triat tell the quay be my case in Diana. And number and the plea bargaining process no ebayaduma. Mkobo what it as a student of law, it was saying
our government. You see, and yet a brebiani a politics. And the NPP must know that a drew baby a 77 previasa. Yet in Yamis so ebu my money. Na oh yes, ano. Near the Yansa Edia Bataho. Na yet the Nipa Hondo. We have all in himself. The banking sector clean up was it was fraud. Not only fraud, but it was also fraud on the basis of one, banks here can furata or banks no or my compliance problems are or no koyen and of a comment. The higher
but there was a year a Sikafi Bank of Ghana by so recapitalize it. As Escano, Equia Basantina or my G.
capitalization is always good. But I'm saying, sir, the banks, we are to say, the banking sector cleanup was a bad decision. The way a manner they went about it.
Okay, so cleanup no ye bad. Say justify the actions of the bank. Directors no.
I'm not justifying, but I'm saying, sir, wono uwa bank na aban ni woka, aban ntuaka. Na ye se ye sika esese wo bank no. Eni bank nti ye gunu. Na aban so ena ye obi a ode wo kapa. Do you think it's fair? Obi a ode wo ka so asa ewejuma. We have moved past this conversation. Ye nyina je tum say even the decision without considering the number of employees are displacing women and the difficulties that decision posed to people who have invested in banks, depositors, investments and Akwatia, and they cannot get to their money. You agreed.
You know, sir, Sabia, we project work cry. You say a case study of this. I know you narrow say a buying and the DC Free Bank of Ghana. Ama directors and board members of a bank say you say they are on the verge of insolvency. In T sanity de amonyen koyo and I establish say because before so you do say no omagia to say ampa there was an embezzlement of a sort. Na baby a enkofo hwe ne say aden de anye 100% ni nyina.
Amudie 100% ni nyina says to 20% to say 60% to. And no, idea this Attorney General and a answer because Attorney General a power to undertake plea bargain and also exercise a nolle prosequi discretion. Now, conversation a cool between Attorney General and a suspect. Sebia, onyam kasai ina yinim ho. Nke ma ho kwan Emma Attorney General Babon Team Bekasa, it will give all of us enough basis, enough information. Okay. Run is our conclusion, but maybe you will be Samia. I believe so, we should find a way of restituting all the owners of the banks. Now, there are other places that our government say who could restaurant now who could now baby sales can I went to me in Tria. Yes, London. You have more restaurant now. For chance, say we can the best. So be the worker. One bezel fans. Na who can be so about me ama nipanabwa. Wabwa nipano. Now what me ye jumetria oka. You rather advance towards that progressive method no than a method that won't give you anything. Now one more cause a prosecution and a jail will be who jail does that mean the money will be paid back? But I also think that we should allow the Attorney General, who has a duty and the responsibility to explain his actions, either to the extent that he has taken that and it has a national security, a national interest matter. He should come and explain why, how, what went into the decision. Then, contribute to the discussion because at that point there is a lead information we can rely on to make commentaries. But at this point, the Attorney General has and this is not the first time such a decision has been taken. We've seen it and seen it happening from the Attorney General always. And we should be asking the Attorney General, I've heard Felix Opozukwatika say, said, Attorney General will come out and explain that matter. And so I'm sure that it will give us enough fundamental direct information that will enable our appreciation of the issue. But I think I'm a very happy man because a can be a befaswa that banks no are you good, you did politics good no. Na dunia bank the end you know other people banks me and what even gives me the evidence that that decision was born out of bad faith. It was captured in a fraudulent document. It was all captured in that document. Senanado be president Pepe. Yebegu UT Bank. Yebegu Dr. Kwabena Dufo Bank. Yebegu other banks are omunye atim for na sikano. Ba any sikan nyina nkodi atim for them.
Me ba cho mo ba ye document like that. Me ba cho mo ba ye what me ahwe mo ahunu se bank no na etiapo anase na hangi wokwa mo ba mo timi aye sade no.
And na me say for an attorney general to get to this level, say what take decision say what the same by between ajao. What the same by between ajao. It means that all these enquiries would have been made, all these investigations would have been made, so that the Attorney General is able to examine the effects of prosecution and the effects of a plea bargain. To come to this conclusion, it means that some work have gone down. And now,
okay.
Attorney General will have enough information to comment. Me saying, baby, I'm Attorney General na Nejuma. Also, Ambassador na OKFME. You don't have access to all the information that has led to the conclusion of the Attorney General. I've heard people make commentaries yesterday to the extent that a null protocol is not even good, and then why not 100%? Why not 70%? Why 60%? When the Attorney General comes to speak, and I think that when issues like this come, will take his decision.
Okay.
Explaining what has gone into the issues, so that we don't drink the soup while the food is still on the fire. But my fundamental opinion is that I think that I support any decision that will help Dr. Kwabena Dufo, a very experienced former Minister of Finance of this country.
Former governor.
The track record is one of competence. Or yet, former governor of the Bank of Ghana. The track record was competence. The next, if there's an opportunity to redeem an avoidable crisis, I think that I support that decision.
Okay. Now, Mamusa, no more castle being fanagement. Say, most chairman general of your party, you were saying that you are also a GNPC Ghana Post and Harbours Authority chairman. Need you come one now?
I'm not with my elbow.
Say, we are discussing.
I'm not with ya. What the name Kako discuss is at him win. And she open see immediately. Now, said I order. Mama Kuria Chow, Kruay, and Chow. A channel for crowd.
Yeah, we are Akwatia. Yes, some Akwatia. I'm more prepared for by-election. Electoral Commission for a day to mine. And no to me any day.
Oh, what? So you a friend then. Ablekumanofi. The NPP for TSM. Hey, one Mabuya and Wakotia. One more to true Wakotia. One more the second Wakotia. As someone meka of a kwame. Ye be twema no kosi simi na so me be pa achow mekai sada na no pese ya na me no
e wa ya
enne NPP executives asemu kna wo mo de fertilizer tumu a wo mo ka ne yiye so wo mo de nsekan ne ntuo ye be ku nipa wa akotia because wo mo abu nipa wa ablekuma enya yesi you ye de the NPP enna mo amu MP na wawu even though so ye nuana One call Congress and put Nanuya. 1 minute silence and moment observe it in honor of that particular individual. Now, the committee will observe 1 minute silence in honor of him because he's a young man. Now, Obia Ayewo, you are the one shouting and drumming war. Sir, Yenya, ye baba jamu ye ba wumba buyen. ɛna akɔteafoɔ no a wɔn wɔ hɔ no wɔn nte bɔne NDC MPP a wɔn akɔtea ntɔkwa nni wɔn ntem wɔn nsɔre dabida nhwɛ mogya na mo a hɔwo a mo ba bɛkɔ election wɔ hɔ no mo sɛ mo ba akɔhwɛ mogya enti yɛkɔ ne akɔkɔhwɛ sɛ na nkrantem yɛn ne MPP foɔ de akɔto hɔ whilst we are waiting for the date say if it is ayi say parliament through EC ebe declare by election that bia yɛkɔ akɔhwɛ sɛ MPP foɔ nse kan ne nkrante ne ntuo no a wɔn de bɛkɔ no wɔn started the kwa na wɔn nkɔ you see overcome NDC way enye party a threatening wɔn and let the MPP know. Let them know, sir, the current crop of people leading the NDC are not people you threaten, intimidate, and believe that you can use bravado and all sort of shenanigans to intimidate. We constitute a threat ourselves. NPP should not have the effrontery to threaten anybody. We will go. If they declare the election, the leader of the party who is the president, the national chairman of the party, and the general secretary decides that the NDC will participate in that election. The only motive I the NDC be kwa Akwatia say ye kwa kope womo na omo ama an NDC candidate because Akwatia honum no NDC for win that MPP for so win that. So the balance of probability say any party can win is very high. But the NDC is in a possible lead because there's evidence of good governance. That is Nanado's region. MPP4 has a responsibility to go back and pinpoint to say, in fact, Atiwa, but the President Nanado free at the back of Tiano, a 1 hour drive. MPP4 would have to show 8 years and Nanado baby president, and then we seen what a whole more. You bet me a cafe. MPP party, no. Woman fast woman the free MPP and Nanado 8 years, no. You would have to show Akwatia Udra and Sumpo Munyabi no manum. Koko, Ukoa, most of the people there are Ewes and then the locals. And a mine in Koko no way. Koko Jumai, a good honum. What is the MPP going to say? Say a coin woman ye, and now say toilet no more see. And now factory be no more see 8 years. Yebeka and another backyard in ye. One more toward the MPP, the scene, and pass woman. There is nothing like that in Akwatia. MPP for the business. And I say, Braboni Subambonia, woman, even as a political party, a betting in net. Near Monday, yeah, one party for 8 years. I come the woman. Woman to him 7 months in your own lose election. And to me, who say, my young grassroots, young power macho. Me and you do one more cafe. You buy ya mobra pack. Nemum, a chance to move yet. Not grassroots, then find a woman. One more thing kind. And one more beating war drums. And one more threatening for. Senior ye behu chale. Ye de ejina ya nan so a ya kwakọ ye ayi a ya hwe said ye be ya election no tenne election ne ba ye ne Akwatia for betimi adi ni yiye. That is what we are doing. O ko pe wo ba pacho na wo de ko umfa akata bensem nko ta Akwatia for pentokọ a MPP for ebe kire wo mo ta Akwatia for ye wo mo a wo mo do wo mo ho woman atena ho for years and tokwa bia ni woman now MPP executive top officials Nana B national youth organizer mo and woman threatening so woman baba ku nipa wo ho a Akwatia for so muni e be so manu wa himfie
ene amame na wasen anopai
yamin saw masada
misana da ase
enti we ensem a Mustapha Gbande editu edwa. One thing about Mustapha Gbande, Emma Menijin Hopa, how I will see Ekasa with a lot of braveness, in fact, with boldness, with so much, and I mean, a lot of vigor. The castle can be an ultimate way, we're meaning to it. We're meaning to that. Na yɛmfiri hɔnom na yɛnkɔtie nsɛm bi a chairman sɛ bonsu this time around wohwɛ a wɔho wodeɛ mempɛ sɛ meka wei yɛnkɔ mbra na yɛnkɔtie saa nsɛm no. Chairman sɛ bonsu ɛyɛ former majority leader ɛde ma NPP amanyɔkuo bra na ɔmowɔ aban mu. Ɔno aso koro yɛ na ɔyɛyɛ the Minister of Parliamentary Business Affairs ɛde ma aban a yɛtwa mu yi. Na currently I'm no kasa die. Chairman sɛ bonsu oni dwuma bi adi ɛwɔ Ghana politics mu. Ɛno ane sɛ ɔnam ɛna wo defend MPP Dr. Muhammad Bawumia yɛmfa ne mbra. Menim deɛ sɛ bi ɔmo asan ama ne bi ɔmo asan a promise ne so ɔmo de bɛma no. Na mmom utie ne nkasa yɛ a wɔka na ɔkyɛmu a Bawumia deɛ he stands tall among all the candidates. Intelligent for Bawumia ensign and brabio MPP delegate no no more kasa wanyami amiti hey and awa wohwe me bia we delegate ono no kasa yenko na yenko ti nsema chairman sabonsu so oni Kwame Nkrumah tikese atwetwe enkomo isifae na ekoba yede na aka nyina ebeto aso yɛn platform we ɛso mesraw so do comment betum adwenkyere betum branko mo no ɛkɔso na wa like na wa share na wa subscribe to the channel no na foforo etimi enyi bi ahwɛ hanom still remains #1 platform on YouTube. Yɛn kɔ de ntinse ne kɔbrɛ betoso
akoda o mase ebi an ko yekra ne nipa ne bi ni ho ende o ma baidi ene min fa na min na wo mo ase usi tracks mu a na eredi ne fia omo edidase and I'll be coming into ye can't see no crepa and for sure we mono anything. It be no trini time. You dear, Mentiasi. The carry conferences I call. President Kufado no Oba, we see Jum na or Chachia. A month for Anton on the crowd, be or Chachia and another classroom. What is wrong with me? I see. And I cannot say, they say, dear, you're more a beam into you need Ubia with my friend Jose or a parent, a person of your Franca to me. Say, what about Timpo? Let's say, if she one palm waka, be more a boom Timpo if you want a moment can you? It be no, or Beba. And if I say, dear, or my boom triple is in the mouth. Maybe you so much here by a time and the son of a balance. If I can say, let us also change you, Mono. Intermediate, the meaning say, we did a sema or a nipa, a channel, if I be a channel, senior or more channel. I don't think it's an issue at all.
Now, every year more dreamy MPP, so we'll chat 2024 and Chamudi ye near Manco ye pede presama okways. Report no near the idea. Can you forbay no winnable as in character, as in the charisma, any BBR mobility as a modern co. See a attribute now, you're free.
I mean, music kind of don't say when can you forbay no dear anymore, boy? If I know because
you
the material here, what you know,
I'm my crabby free China, maybe
and you will say, we shall find would be any more of a boy. Yes, sir.
You
quite send my cassette. I say you're more than no more. Indeed, you don't have the full complement of more. If you are a brand person,
and I say, Bob Ben moi, young shre, a be a niemu, character more, summa wasum, dear Ben, a 1 who's already a young mudding, but. Nipa na eso suban we mudini din no because normally no say na de me hu say wo bete MPP for am say o ye de we na ekọ bi wo kwa na e mo abem onso so am say ye de we na ekọ me kai Professor Dubu ahin time Professor Dubu ahin na ekọ na e ba ya ma edu ba bie na yɛsɛ de covid ya wo dwan de kunkufo na ekɔ because o win 2000 and elections no because no ahye fitaa na wo mo ye ni interview because the people are soaking enti eno na me bisa saa no
yeah funny ɛnna me no kasa mretie bi na menim sɛ me kasa asɛm no ɔmo a ɛbɛgyina no yɛ party constitution no kasa yɛhwɛ nneɛma bi nneɛma mmiɛnsa titiri a ɛka ne sɛ bi a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde wo ho ma sɛ nto aba ma wo NPP ɛwɔ sɛ anye biara no wadi party no mu mfie nu 5 years ɛtɔ so mmienu no wɔse ɛwɔ sɛ woyɛ oni bɛka sɛ you should be in good standing in good standing no yɛ party mmerɛ mu no ne ɛkyerɛ ne sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɛtɔ bi a party no yɛse yɛntua no wotua wo deɛ ebi kora mpo a that is dues ne nneɛma ebi a na tɔ bi foforɔ bi kora asan ba yɛsɛ hia se ɔwɔ sɛ wotumi tua bi ɔwɔ sɛ ɔyɛ obi a sɛde ebi a party no wotumi ɛtɔn no sɛ deɛ party no bɛka sɛ bi a yɛnyɛ no wotumi agye si wo nan soɔ ɛbɔ ho dawuro yie so saa nneɛma no ɛna qualify obi to yɛ ka sɛ is a person in good standing yɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa a party no ka no sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ wokyerɛ suban papa you should be of good character ɛwɔ sɛ wosu ne ɔban ɛyɛ na meka sɛ sɛ yɛka saa asɛm no a yɛndi ama yɛ party constitution no ka ne sɛ wobɛyɛ frankantuni nyame boa wo na nyame ne amanfo adaroma ɛtumi bɔ wo ho dawuro yie ɛka party no ho asɛm yie sɛ nyame boa na wobɛyɛ mampani a wo no doni kasa mu no yɛka sɛ wobɛyɛ role model for my mu no nyinaa so nti ɛwɔ sɛ woda suban bi a ghanafoɔ nyinaa bɛtumi aka sɛ wobɛdeɛ ne suban yɛ yɛ party constitution ne yɛka saa wɔ kwane wobɛfa ɔman no nyinaa nso mmra a ɛyɛ 1992 republican constitution yi ɛno nso ɛde nsɛm kakra ka ho sɛ wansa na wobɛyɛ presidential candidate no ɛwɔ sɛ wɔdi mfeɛ aduanan anyɛ bie kora no nso wɔdi mfeɛ aduanan ɛtɔ so bio no yɛ national constitution no ka sɛ wo presidential candidate no also qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. Nano, but this is the woman say, I can say, Sabi, Utrisha or Manfufu Biase. Say, dear, I owe allegiance to any other country. Or say, I also seek a seven, a year. So, when you're bankrupt, you declare, say, we're bankrupt. Sabi, you and found to say, treason. So, process of Bitua, and why engage in fraud? Article 94 of the 1992 Constitution. So, and then the friend of qualification and eligibility criteria. Kwame, that name man, one more to see a woman team for some person, no more our 2 months. And then the kid say, oh my, the Banakram Bono, over what the sign man assessment, what they know. Access will be there, which will be qualified. Make say eligibility and qualification in there. One more to as far as I'm concerned, I'm say no more factor. Say Omdi Kurenima, a year. Name say Udi who could fight a national constitution now. A sign of casting be apart from the eligibility and qualification criteria. I'm saying can Simbia. What by now would say that your manager was already the banner? What by now? I would say it's me, anything was say, I would say, it depends the liberties of Ghanaians. Say Ghana for women, I found DSM, the rule of law. It is the Yekima, now Shimukina, or my Ghana. So, and then now you're trouble, you see, so be a company. And tell you,
President Mahama ne plan say wa waka say e do ma on show one big my say me dey ko see and yet asem papa the rule of law no also to depend your constitution make kasa the person you know constitution say what say e do ma show one what by no it must be able to take equal opportunities for every citizen say government amount for who come na omani a kind corner within the shape bar be any kind converting sita the creation of equal opportunities for every Ghanaian. Oh, so okay, and also and na another thank you for and I say a young family present a Rollins cry member no can say and maybe you pay him kind condigna and make so and the president Rollins Kofa SQ free compulsory universal basic education about say also Ghana Akwatia no technical school basic school for by no that basic school education or the same kana okofa school fee buy or the capitation grant buy so and man be brave say ora mo school mo for basa this is jo musika then go for edimi na e be shame kana go for buy so be do o say sa pe mu bio and then free senior high education go for as be introduce you can oma ebia obekwa hutrim bia o yare demu no untimi enhwe wo ho eno bia na nyema agye atete ansam katra eno ni health insurance a go for buy no be shemu kana be dem no se buy no o mo ke yeso mo de saka e bi be mu go for buy no o find my ko fa the basic principle for the buy no find be shemu kana bi health insurance you say only before one say social protection for the aged and your only be any allowance and the comma or mamma deprived the vulnerable. You know equal opportunities say yes the next one I see what buy no or say to me but it doesn't mean sana yes say economy no also we should mama economy no equity prosperity for all Ghanaians. That day improve to Ghana for Brabo. And apart from qualification and eligibility, no, some person will share sa obia or no or what's hard in whom dear in the end of the only personal competence, the experience, the track record, the vision for national development. Utiekasa makadada ofanina the ingenuity of the person pakono na dwene so ne mu drufa utini extra dream bi ho say ade we yini say na be bo man no ofasa ne mani nyina ediba waka say linear we ono qualification and eligibility criteria and was satisfied na sarni me say aban no so e kon be fa so ababe ne dwuma ama sarni me mi nsa maka medical yakana say I was say omo depend the liberties of Ghanaians rule of law or the bitinia asemu kana we create equal opportunities na say we ensure say economy is managed in such a manner say edi impuntu prosperity bebre or minor any every citizen of Ghana no and me nsa no o ma dwena ma church ansa no be declaration no kwa anything okofa omo past record nsema maka o kesi enimu a maka say we dey odemuson kom de ma we ya na beboa kwame that is nyame me hunu ni di nwa dance ye de a sane ma no omo se omo be mu sesi no me de omo to Dr. Mamu Bewumia ho na ndi me hu say Dr. Bewumia o wani bebre e chen o ma yakana that is not to say o ma yakana say omo nsem pataso me di ko nanimu that na tie but me say apart from qualification and eligibility criteria now obeke sane ye nenya now they can hold there in my considered view name assessment me dey it is Dr. Mamu Bewumia of sene omo
akanina na ayi obi bisa say prior to 2024 elections no na enisuade hunu no ne eya mo won se oh oye we free northern region nti anye bia 5 northern regions no obe sweep votes no na yesati bia mu so se ha me patriotic
what some can we are not a pete bia bi si ho man so nti ana
aha me say ansa na 2024 election e be kono enkomo bebre ayete ye ne se oh Dr. Mamu Baumia 5 northern regions no betumi sweep votes e de afiwo aba zongo so ebeto and wasan koye the first time kra no a amanyoko ne president obi a woye muslimuni ana kramuni ba wenu nyina ntimi amamu a obebusa se empen die ne betumi asesa ana a man stand tall among others.
Kwame abaya to ye no anko ya mayen o mamu ni nyem David Breoha idi nkunim pa no a be idi nkunim bebre e ma ye nyaaye ewo 2017 the 2017 ye ba 2020 no ye ma no so ti yo dia ye ma no so ti hwi eno ka hu bi ne ma President Akufo-Addo 2016 na utwa President John Dramani Mahama by close to 1 million votes no by 2020 na Akwatia by 500,000 just the margin of victory no in what you know what you say maybe I'm now saying maybe we didn't learn useful lessons from what happened in 2020 and this is 2024 I say at the end of the year same cry so indeed Mami me walk no say maybe a stream any zongo communities no yenya na ye ni daso ma ni what in ye wo anafo hanso e ufa santimemu ufa nkamemu ufa western region ufa be bia e ho so enye slimfo na e wo ho yenkramfo na e wo ho ahono so a kristofo na do so no a e ho so elusu ye no so no kwame ho so be kana say so the argument say oh ena slimfo and trauma ye nkramfo and trauma ye no anything they are with no kwame that argument doesn't hold.
Okay.
Everywhere, baby, our woman, votes no a bar from bar. What is it? No, 2015, I was one. Almost 64,000. The bar 2020, no. Would have been the real now also independent candidate. You will be bringing him say, Obwa, because now independent also NPP. And watching home, so independent. Let me NPP since 1992 to 2000 and me who know that. We will more cast away NPP. Unfortunately, NPP for could do it. They buy a toy, 64,000. I had a problem, and I mean, who say, I need be a crown. It also made me pay them 67, 68,000. And now the Danko for the about 67,000. I created 68,000 in 2015. Let me say, I be a crown. I say, no, it's me 70,000. Come here to about 2020. No, massa. Me 64 no, and I'm just a queenie moon. I'm queenie. Me 64 no cry. I'm in 2016. That's okay. I'm about 58,000. About 6,000 is usual. About 6,000 in free. Limit so. In the new year, now independent candidate be any honor. Let me say I be a crown. Enka 2016, and not a day. 50 Misa Kunya. The 64,000 or 50 Kunya was one. 2020 now, name a tiba from a crown. So me, Yanasa. The fact tiba from you, and I think about 51,000. What you say? Again, about 7,000 centuries. Now, yes, so I'm a repeat you, baby, be free. So, coming, it is not about religion, it is not about ethnicity. Now, you're probably a crown, Ashanti region, you remove ethnicity seminar, report on a biano, baby, I'm a queer biano, almost say, about man to honor. Any woman to tear and before I'm down to tear. And yet, or is the money and also the money in India. You never be. And it has nothing to do with ethnicity or religion. Professor Quay, and today are on a national level. I mean, and also, and Chimuaba, a cow, religion, and ethnicity, no, uncle for a person, they didn't play any role in the defeater. And after a performance, I'm saying, religion, a summoner, maybe be free, no, coming. I'm memu. Foundation there, German foundation there, a Wagana, or my young and also check. Say, ye canuya. Say, and also so I'm memu. And to be air for so disaster, and the Shimwa, and Mama Kra. And it was a national thing. In fact, one, you were a partner. And then my baby, and Uncle Foka Hassan. The whole world, a buyer, or to toll it, 2000 and up to 2024. No one after to Abba. A my bed to soon in me, you know. In what do you see? Now, almost a buyer no board. No to 2 women. I didn't hear. Because COVID in Manamano, among for expectations after COVID, now a buyer war was so intimate fulfilled in Intino. I'm going to be no one to say, they are queen, now all of a sudden. The dear Sabi Bumwa, as I tear by CC, in the most incumbent administrations lost. No thanks to Russian, Ukraine, a war, COVID-19 circumstances, the Bramaya, the first thing as the report said they were due to external factors. Coming, it also means you are being Munimaka, a cocosua, maybe a man for Kikamasem, and also Ebe can. So, and also the cow. A buy and maybe one open ye. Now, buy no open ye. Also, a quiet fast ye, you know. If you are a how braille man. For instance, a man for cat a total person. You call IMF, and Nessica, and feeding good mind feeling family. A buy no one also easy fund for our national development. Introduce taxes be paid. Taxes not a man for complaining said or how every woman. It will be a car, dear. I was a good tear, and near a car, dear or main, there was a tear, because some way, dear my, you know. About introducing measures, including domestic debt management here, maybe more hair shaving mechanism, no, because we be investment there. So, if you want to you interest, say, you interest that. I'm just saying, no, you can be now my investment, especially the middle class. Hanipo, that's not a ban for money into the animal bio. When you can't test any interest in me, Papa Lintino. You account. John, what they are buying no more saying, the external factors Namaka was saying. Yenya party, internal organization of your primaries, Obetia and for Kemune, conscience, Yaku, if you have Bomu, because of your person, you say, some a day. He or party Nankasema. About through parliamentary elections. If we hear the Bessia Coma, we wait in Sakoma, we didn't cross it and go for to television to me, a frigid amount of ha. Then I follow any echo. Into a bar, a toy, you know. And many of them punished NPP4. Some more said you, the Maka Bemakunya. And I'm going to say, yes, I'm also. Yes, you want to say. I'm more catch and say, and the Imiatem. Namudi, would you want to shoot belt? I mean, Ghanaians were watching. Zani maintain organization of the party and so on. At the high. And fun and legendary campaign, one Katanzum, Yamaneme Koso. All these things are born out in the reports now, man, for I. What you say? Indeed, coming. And yet, ethnicity. And yet, a Dr. Belmia is free. And then, yet, a song. And no, the reports in Kafar. Okay, let's concentrate on the essentials. And you see it to me, a kaboom. Na you jai, you see it to money at home. Na ibia, I think be another to home. Ibia Chenagin. Be so NPP. One also bet Chenagin is a dear mini, I mean, one yarding. That's not what can I get, no yarding. That's my dream, you know. Only me Pacono said you own thing can be, you know, but I know what's happening. Oh, we said, come here, you mean Freddy. Any woman you and so any Freddy, you know. On a continent can be any argument that be piano, and what are they taking together? Oh, we said you said it bigger, said you were waiting for. And on a winning election. I mean, you know, can't sing the BBA, a tremor. I mean, I'm not saying you're catching me. But so, a same Namoka. The baby kind of ponensa so cobobino. Not general,
what sort of ideas?
And I general, what I say? Let's debate issues. I think the reporting you know, actually, and say, Sabi, you took money at home, Casafia, the Casa, you took money at home. I mean, and no come be in the city, they did see. It's as if people have not learned anything. And the nays are Casafina, I say, and the other coin, you could you be. Tempo, the one you Dr. Bomia, who could you for. Now, what to talk if you manage Dr. Bomiano? Now, obey, now, a Bomian so, and for the yell, and so cabbage the one. I'm a becoin, you better ABC move. Now, we don't need to do that. Kina, in semi banner, the next level shall phone and say, Unu be Nigeria. You know, Nigeria, that's not okay, meaning I'm no Nigerian crowd. No Nigerian, and I'm a dear back on me and saying, may you acquire him. And the Kupia a tear. The son will say, you know, anything to do. President Lawrence and a baby or cry about NDC.
So that is it. No kwasem a woman say Akwatia by election dear. It is not gonna be easy. Akwatia by election no. Mimi who say any easy. And suddenly, a lot of drama will be transpired. Suddenly, me say, suddenly, drama bekoso honum. Drama bekoso honum papa. Ni na mu no, ya bompae. Se eye NDC amanyuku no ebesan agi se seat na ka ho na MPP for omwani sute etu na omwu se afedie yewie afedie MPP NDC for abu ya pre what na me chona say enti ye bompae but yen dive into Chairman Sabunso ninsem ni ebu Obeka ya 2023 Brana MPP for Ebeko Delegate Conference no. Chairman Sabunsu eba abonten beka nsem se ya se yewura Dr. Alhaji Bawumia anka ne Vice President eyo obi a party no betimi edi animu and even ono na ho ya akona Ghana for ebeto no tiase amana be president. Chairman Sabunsu can a lot of things ewukrum ha Nina eye na hawa Chairman Sabunsu omo ka kire ni se papa yi se wutimi eye den eboaye ema ibenya president na yebemu aye running mate asa nwa nye Chairman Sabunsu kwa ma ka kire no then time yewura education minister yawa dutwim a ono nso sesei opeso no so obedi president bi omo kan bi kire no omo kan bi kire Joseph Oseiwusu no ono nso de nta ono ye first majority leader, first speaker of parliament. Oh, 8th parliament, and I think say if right here or 9th parliament. Yes. Omo kan bi kire no, and omo bi kan bi kire na po. Eti nkofo bebe na ato omo adwim say oh, Alhaji Bawumia say obama ye vice president, especially na yewura chairman say bonsu de na didi ntrimu. Enti so obehwa bra na po omo bo ni din no. Chairman say bonsu eko tweet formally Twitter LS. Na no chiremu a see there be Dr. Alhaji Bawumia doesn't need head block. I say okan I want to get it right. Head I say then block-headed person like obia ombu ade obia omfa hwe ho obia oka na asem asebi otimi ka de opechire wo bra chairman sebunsu yi na po as Bawumia na running mate okan sim bebre onu mi say na oyeden running mate no enti na me no okasai the probability say MPP Nepo won't be running mate for Dr. Alhaji Bawumia anymore. No. It is at its highest peak. A year more. A year more. A year more say chairman sabunsu. Ebiana Muama na be running mate because of the corner. Chairman sabunsu nya kwenye biana okasa o defendi Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ni na ye ono nso interest or one in what the presidency no emu mfancheme enti chairman sabunsu wo honom sana nsem bi obeka bia no obe make sure say be favor Bawumia say be Bawumia nso emre ni duru honom a ono nso be the favor. But let me tell you, say chairman sabunsu be running mate say one may running mate MPP would never come to power in 2028. That one be rest assured. Be rest assured. Some people will never come to power. Send this focus why you do muyi and then me creating content we na normal a ready budget. You rakisa to force. No sisi say the CD na pick. Sisi de CD na pick. A pick. A CD na pick you. A pick. Ahun CD na pick omwaso. Say CD no. Are you stabilized? And you can attest to the fact say ne CD no at the 10 by ne patron na me koto ya me di ho ya kakra. Eno kra no ntimi fan compare ya anom 4D. Ya anom di na the 16 tax nya me ka ho ne di levy was so but still now enyan even baby at 12 baby 11.99 almost 12 enyan 13. I'm telling you me na me ka tro enyan 13 nanka nampesa kodru 14 but yanom for the day it was hovering around 17 16 and even ekoya kodru 23 2023